maybe the previous
This meeting is
class
being
in the
recorded.
previous week, there is some problem with the accurate content of the syllabus. Okay, so therefore maybe if the student need to repeat the topic, should be no problem. Okay, you can do extra class, or I can give a record of the content for the chapters. Okay, so for today I'll focus on the chapters, more on the topic, I call it the topic on the forecasting. Okay, so forecasting and order processing. Okay, so forecasting is so actually in marketing or in whatever activities in our business activities, including logistic and transportation, the most important part is we have to do some assumption. Okay, so we have to do some assumption on our future activities. This assumption on the future activities is the pictures of forecasting. Okay, forecasting. Okay, you want to forecast what is our future expected sales, what is our expected call it revenue, what is our expected cost, what is our expected demand by the customer, and all that. That is very important because in order to come up with our planning for our business, planning for our logistic activities, planning for our logistic transportation. So we have to know, we have to make assumption like economic theory. In economic theory, everything is like assumption. Okay, that is about forecasting. And also we touched a bit on this order processing later on. Okay, so what's the meaning of forecasting, especially in the logistic perspective? Logistic demand forecasting is the process of accurately anticipating the demand for the product. Anticipating the demand for the product. That means the demand is not for the current demand. It is about the future demand. Maybe in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months time. Okay, so you have to accurately anticipating the demand. Okay, and also maybe the demand about the services. The demand not only for the product, also about the services, and the demand about the shipment, the numbers of scheduled shipment we're going to have in the future, 4 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months coming. Okay, in the future, and how to do the forecasting based on our supply chain, based on our supply chain system that we have already experienced, maybe from the data, from the previous 6 month data, from the previous 3 month data. Okay, from this data we can come up with the forecasting. Okay, so is take into account even the most uncontrollable condition or circumstances, because in our business we have a risk. Sometimes we have a risk. So when we have a risk, we have a problem in making the prediction demand, the capacity of demand. Okay, and but when we have this enough data, okay, this give us very good info, idea on how to plan how to do our forecasting for our logistic. Next, so logistic forecasting is very complex process. We have to have a certain special unit. We call it in manufacturing. We call it R&D. Okay, we can have R&D section. If we are big, our company is very big. Maybe we can create one section to deal with this forecasting. Okay, or in some company they combine this unit under data, digital marketing unit, whereby they come up with forecasting for demand. Okay, based on this forecasting for demand forecasting, we can share this data and figure to the logistic department, to the transportation department. We can share the data to the warehouse department, whereby everybody can make use of this data. And then, especially in logistic department, they can come up with a forecasting for logistic process. Okay. All right. So, so So we can come out also with the cost. We can also make assumption for the cost that we have to pay in the future, maybe in the 2 months, next 2 months, next 3 months. In the forecasting, not only for the spring, not only the figure on the revenue, but also can come with the figure about the cost. Okay, how much the cost for the previous 6 months, or how much the cost for the previous 3 years. Okay, so based on the data. So this is the basis for our forecasting. So remember, forecasting is the process of assuming what is the future situation of our logistic activities. Okay, how to make this assumption, how to make this prediction based on our previous data. Okay, that's the gist from this few slides. Okay, so what is this forecasting about? So we are going to forecast or to make assumption on the demand. We call it demand forecasting. Okay, so this demand forecasting can help plan for the seemingly unexpected scenario. So we have many scenarios in our everyday process. We have like now, in the previous year, we have a coronavirus attack. We have a limited movement order, and we have the war. The war happened between Russia. That's something like unexpected event. Okay, then can affect our forecasting. Okay, maybe you want to make decision about the how much you can cut the cost. Okay, and the logistic planning, how to plan our logistic, how many warehouse we need in the future, and the load of the distribution. Okay, the seasonality, the cost of inventory, and also about the inbound logistic and maybe outbound logistic. So all this is something about the forecasting in logistic. Okay, and that is the basic activities based on the historical customer data. Okay, that is the forecasting. So logistic forecasting refer to the basic activities in make a summary about the future assumption of demand, future assumption of the cost, future assumption of the income, or the revenue from the company based on our previous data. Based on our previous data. Okay. So how to make this logistic forecasting accurately? How to make this forecasting logistic accurately? So in the modern organization, we have many call it software, many software and application that we can implement. We can apply this software in making our forecasting. Okay, so I call it the cutting edge technology. When we make use of the technology, so we can make use of this data, this software, this tool, in order to come up with a very good forecasting. Still on the surface, no problem. Here is the sum of the proven ways to ensure our logistic demand forecasting is success. How to ensure our demand forecasting is success? Is very accurate without with a minimum error. Okay, we talk about the numbers. Okay, we talk about the numbers. There is a two condition. One with error, small error. Two with a minimum error. So if we can minimize our error, it means the degree of accuracy is very high. The degree of accuracy is very high when we can minimize the error. Right. Okay, one. Okay. How to make our forecasting success? One, we have to focus on seasonal demand. Okay, let's say we have celebration year, a celebration month. Let's say in Ramadan, in the Muslim country, we have Idul Fitri. So we can, based on this seasonal data, we can make a forecasting. Let's say in August, in the future, next year, we have our celebration in August. So how to make a good forecasting for August must based on the previous year's celebration month. Let's say the previous year's celebration month is July. So based on the data from last year July, we can come up with very good data for the future, for the coming year celebration. Okay, so one must based on the seasonal demand. Okay, it is a trend that tend to stay consistent from year to year. Let's say in the celebration month last year in July, we have Ramadan, we have Idul Fitri. The data for that month, we can assume that can be very similar to the data for the coming year celebration month, coming year Idul Fitri month. Okay, so it is like something we can consider in our forecasting activities. First, we have to think about the seasonal demand. Okay, and this seasonal demand, maybe the data can be, I call it the consistent. The data for last year can be consistent to data for next year. So that's why we have to consider this seasonal demand as one of the way how to maximize the accuracy of our logistic. All right. Another two, you call it, we can conduct a buyer trend analysis. Buyer trend analysis. The trend of buying. The trend of buying by the customer. So based on the trend of buying, the trend of expenditure, gelagat berbelanja among the customer, so we can also come up with very good data for forecasting. Okay, based on the buyer trend of analysis. Okay, buyer trend are difficult to track and to meet the varying demand. Okay, but we have to aware about the trend. We have to aware about the attitude. We have to aware about their behavior. Okay, why? We can based on this trend, we study the trend of their purchasing behavior, the buying behavior, so we can keep our logistic operating cost to the minimum. And in our forecasting, we can focus on the first the amount, the cost involved for that season. Two, the revenue that we can collect for that season. Okay, so normally the trend are similar. Okay, the trend behavior, purchasing behavior are similar from the previous season and for the next season. Okay, thank you, Prof. Mazna. Thank you, my friend Azwan, my
Apa?
friend anak saudara, and Miss Kak Long. Okay, all right. Next, the class now you can follow me. The class, is it okay? Class, can follow me?
Okay, bro.
Okay, move to the next slide. Okay, all right,
Yes.
all right. Okay, demand exception management. That's another way how to make our forecasting is accurate. Demand forecasting is needed, especially since trend fluctuate every month. Logistics should be prepared to cater to the expectation and demand. So when we know that there is a trend of fluctuation, so it is easy for us to make assumption, to make a forecasting by understanding the trend. Okay, uptrend and lower trend. Okay, and when we come up with the forecasting, we know we can understand, we can make assumption when the sale can be dropped, when the sale can be up. So based on the fluctuation. Okay, based on this fluctuation, we can next intuitive planning. Normally in our organization, and this section or department can come up with based on their experience, based on the past experience, based on their market knowledge. Okay, so this one we call it intuitive planning. Intuitive planning. Okay, intuitive planning work as can consider several factors that your factors like any accidental level, any seasonal level, rainy season, dry season. Like in European, we have 4 seasons. So this season will help us in to this intuitive planning section. Come out is very good forecasting numbers. Okay. Okay. What is the benefit of logistic forecasting? Why we have to come up with a very good figure? Why we have to come up with a very good plan for our forecasting? Okay. When we come up with very good forecasting, first we can reduce our operation costs. Okay, when we come up with very logistic activities, sometimes we have to allocate more money for transportation, more money for delivering, more money for our warehouse, more money for storage. So we call it figures for forecasting, so we can avoid, we can achieve the lower cost in our operation. We can achieve a lower cost in our operation. We can cut. We know the numbers of transportation. We know the numbers of the mode of transportation we can choose. Whether you want to use the land transportation, you want to use a sky transportation, you want to use aeroplane, you want to supply our product, or you want to use a ship to move our product. So this can reduce our operation cost by understanding the numbers of forecasting. Numbers of demand. When we have enough figures about the numbers of revenue, try to maximize our profit. Let's say in the season marketing, season marketing, okay, seasonal. Okay, you know that in August there is a demand for the closes. There's a demand for the celebration. So when the demand is very high, as a merchandiser, we can increase our cost. As a merchandiser, we can increase our cost. Like you see just now, what happened in the flight industry? What happened to our bandara industry? Okay, last time bandara is very, they close all the bandara, all the airport is closed. Now when we choose the flight where the Air Asia can increase the world want to go for tourists want to visit another country. Now it's just time for them to make. So we have to know how to add more price is if there is a higher demand. We try to lower the price during the low demand, the demand will increase. When we increase the price, when there is a high demand, you last or to reduce the number of employee. And also we can decide whether we want to try to increase the efficiency. When we have the small number of employee, we increase the efficiency. When we have a high number of employees, maybe we fear to improve the efficiency because there are too many. They can talking at the workplace. Of course, reduce the efficiency. If a minimum number, we control them and we try to control and we put more effort to motivate, more effort to supervise, to observe them, then we can increase the efficiency. It's how to play with the employee efficiency. Okay. Okay. Based on the forecasting, also we can improve our resource planning. We can improve our resource planning. Okay. So because we have a numbers of resource, we have to limit numbers of the we call it material. So based on this planning, we can control the numbers of inventory at our manufacturing plant. we can control the numbers of order. Maybe if the sale is low in the future time, we try to reduce the number of material, because why not? Why we have to buy more material in the situation where low demand? Okay, so this forecasting planning logistic can help us in controlling our resource planning. Okay, and scalability. You see, by having accurate demand forecasting technique in place, scalability can be achieved with sufficient flexibility to scale up or down without wasting time and effort. So that means we properly manage our time, ngurus masa dengan baik, ngurus inventory stok dengan baik, merancang keperluan stok dan inventory dengan baik, kerana we have our forecasting is come up with very good data about the future, data about the future demand, data about the future numbers of shipment, data about the future risk in the future. Okay, right. Now we move to the order processing. The class we have very short, only 1 hour session today. Now myself now in Sabah near Kalimantan. Okay, we have very call it intensive meeting regarding to the parliamentary disbursement in Malaysia. Okay, so I plan to stop at 12 o'clock. I hope no problem. If we don't have enough time, maybe we can repeat another session, have extra class in another session. Okay, now we move to the order processing. Order processing. So order processing also something very related to the what we call it logistic. Okay, in a normal condition, if we order more material, we need more space to keep our material. So if we order less material, we need more smaller space to keep our material. Okay, same to other materials, same to other. Let's say in producing a car, we need a rubber-based product material. We need a metal-based material. So when we combine all this material need for our manufacturing, okay. So this order processing also affect the logistic. So logistic not only outbound logistic, but also inbound logistic. Okay. When we talk about inbound logistic, it's about the movement of the material between station A to station B, station B, station C. Okay. So that is about the how order processing. Thank you, Dr. Nazrul. Okay. And you see how this order processing affected by logistic. Okay, picking the material, packaging the material, carrying the material. No, material handlers also affected by the order processing. More okay, now I also do this lecture online, so the student can go to my Facebook to check my video later on. Okay, all right. So picking process, so packaging process, all this related to the order processing. If we reduce the numbers of order, we need very small picking process. We need very small packaging activities. We need very minimum carrier activities. But if our order is very high, we need very high picking activities. We need very high packaging activities. We need very high carrier activities. So this is about order processing. So how this order processing affect the logistic management? Okay. So the order processing stages involve picking, packaging, and delivering the goods to a carrier. Delivering may be not only outside of the organization, can be internal delivery. Okay, internal delivery. So then the carrier fulfills the process of handling the goods to the customer in specified location. So this order processing also very important in logistic management. Okay. The critical element of order fulfillment, order processing is the workflow that ensures customer orders are properly prepared. The main point here, we try to prepare a good customer order, a properly customer order. Okay, that is the element of customer order. So customer order, maybe how many orders we receive from the customer. Number one, for customer order, a supplier order or more order, how many, how often our order to our supplier. So there is a two condition. Okay, customer order is the order we receive from the customer. Supplier order is the order we make from the supplier. So this is the two condition. But this is about the order management. Order management. You order more if you order more from supplier. If we receive very high order from the customer. If this is less order from the customer, we also can we have very less number of order from supplier. This supply order management is can come from the customer, supplier. Okay, order management, we are going to order from the supplier. This is two ways. There's a two situation. Okay, so each situation reflect each others. The number of order from supplier high increase if the number order from the customer increase. Okay, because we want to fulfill their order. All right. Okay. So what is order processing software? We have many software in order to manage our customer order, and also we can use many application and software to order from our supplier. Okay, order processing software stores and shares data on orders. It check the stock availability and can track the delivery. All this in the process of activities using the software. You can track how much the order, what's the status of delivery of the customer order. So all this software is very important. Okay, we can use all this software in order to understand the situation of order management system. Order management system is one of the software, and this software normally relate to the accounting. From this software, we can link to the how much we have to pay, how much we are going to get the money from this order. Okay, and with this OMS also combine order processing and all related tasks in order in one centralized platform. Again, as the name implies, order processing is the process of workflow that happens after a customer places an order. This starts with confirming the product, whether the product is in our stock or we have no stock for the product. Okay, so that's why we need to have this system. Okay, based on the order received by the customer, we can check, we can link this order to our data about the stock in our warehouse. So we try to make these numbers tally or every time. If the customer order is higher than our stock available, there's a problem with our business. There is a problem with our business. We make sure the order numbers is lesser stock in our warehouse and store. Okay. Each individual order is compliant, carefully packed, labeled, and shipped to the customer address. This like also like online business. Okay, like you're doing online business for other person, for other company. So when you receive the order, you check your stock. Okay, you prepare your stock based on the order. All this very important point. So the customer order is very important, and what we are going to use is we're going to use the software in order to understand the status of our storage, our store, our stock, and the numbers of order. We try to make sure we can fulfill all the customer order. All right. There are 5 steps in order processing workflow. There are 5 steps in order processing. Okay. One is order placement. Okay. The customer have to place their order. Okay. When the business receive a customer order, detail, item, quantities, shipping detail, address are typically sent to order management system, OMS. All the data collected by OMS about what product they order, the quantity of order, okay, and the shipment preference, okay. All this recorded by using OMS. Call it OMS. OMS is what? Order management system. The first step, order placement. Okay. Number 2, picking inventory. Picking inventory, the process of collecting a specified quantity of items from inventory to satisfy the customer order. The process of collecting a specified quantity from department A, department B, department C. You see, we have 3 departments producing a different product. Product A, department A produce product A. Department B produce product B. Department C produce product C. So picking means we have to pick up the product, individual product based on different department, based on the demand, based on the demand by individual product. So that they only call it the process of collecting a specified quantity. The process of collecting a specified quantity. Okay. Right, number two. And number three is sorting. Sorting is this is the when the pickup. The pickup item are separated according to the destination. Sorting. Like we receive the letter. Okay, when the postal department receive the letter we have to distribute the data using a machine. Okay, they say this letter for department A. So we sort it and put another place in department A. And they say this document for department B. We sort it using a machine, sent to the department B. And we have another postage come for the department C. We sort it and put to the container C. So we have different container for different locations. Same to the sorting process in our customer order. Okay. This process is ordered by Indonesia. It's ordered by India market. It's ordered by Philippine market. It's ordered by Thailand market. So we have many location and many department many container or many space to shift the product to the space based on the to sort the product based on the location. To sort the product based on the location. All right. Three. And for packing, after we sort the product to the location, and we have to choose the right packing material for location A, the right packing material for location B, the right packing material for location C. So we have many locations with different style of, different shape of packing. It's based on the maybe based on the distance of the customer. If the customer is very far, we use by what? By ship. So maybe the packaging is different. If we use fly to ship the product, so there is a packages is different. So based on the size of the product. So number four is the packing process. Number five is shipping. After we pack, we have to ship it. So this is the last process. Very simple process. The process of transporting orders to their final destination. Orders can either be shipped directly to the customer, or they might first be consolidated with other orders going to nearby location to cut costs and minimize the total number of shipment. That's why when we have bundle of a product to ship, we bundle it in one lorries. And so the lorries will go to one location. Let's say they go to the northern region. Then this lorry go to the southern region. This lorry go to the Middle East, for example. This stock, this bundle, this container go to Middle East. This container go to China market. So we have to choose a different, I call it different transportation for different location. So this process, I call it shipping process. Okay, shipping process. If orders are considered, multiple orders are usually shipped with the same carrier and then forward to specific locals as necessary. So when shipping is more important to use the reliable tracking system so you can and your customer can monitor the order. So you have to use the very simple we call it system so the customer can detect the status of shipment. Last time when I told you I bought the product from Japan. So I can use the software, Lazada, they can always mention me what's the status of delivery. They say this now the product is arrived Singapore. Then tomorrow the product arrived to KL. From KL then arrived to Penang. Okay. Or you order the product from Japan. So from Japan go to Singapore. Singapore go to Jakarta. Jakarta go to Ciputat, for example. So there is we can detect, we can trace the delivery process. Right? That is about the shipping. Okay. Okay. The whole process of customer order. The step one is order placement. Number two is pick inventory. Number three we have to do sorting. Number four we have to do packing, and the last one we do the shipment. All right. Okay. So we continue with the type of order processing system. Type of order processing system. First, we have traditional order processing system. All the system is used all the traditional way in main handling the order. Okay, we use a handwritten file. We use a manual labor, okay, from writing order slip to dropping. We use manual or traditional theory company. So all this I call it traditional order processing. And number two, we have a modern order processing. Okay, all the machine we use conveyor system. We use a packaging machine. We're not using people anymore. All this one we call it modern order processing. Become not America and Africa, of course, in Africa, there are more people using the traditional order, modern order processing. So all this based on the company capability. And also we have order system advantages. Order system advantages. This order processing system can be a boon for businesses and enhance the customer experience. Okay. For example, order system make it easier to keep track of orders in progress from pickling to shipping. We call it order system advantage. Sometimes we use system, sometimes we use a modern, sometimes we use a traditional. All based on our company capacity and capability. All right. Okay. This is order system advantages. Order processing with system can be boon for business and more. Improve packaging, picking, sorting, and packing. Order system advantages. You can improve more in picking process, can improve in the sorting process, and can improve in packing accuracy. Okay, that one is when we use system. But if use traditional one, of course, there are very low in picking and sorting. Okay, because we use traditional, we use people. So we talk about people, they are very emotion. They're very emotion, sometimes very difficult for us to manage and to control the attitude. All right. Okay, there are 10 tips to improve order processing. 10 tips to improve order processing. One, the workflow. You have to do the rearrangement of the place. Make sure the place are small sector, so we can come out is very good. If we choose machine, it's good for us to come out is very efficient. A to warehouse, from warehouse to the lorries. We use automation, we use a robot arm. So this one will make more. Our order processing is more efficient, okay, compared to the traditional ways of uh, order processing. Okay. Automation, shipping also can help us in very good ways. Use a modern shipping system, use a old lorry, maybe it's not good for our order processing. Okay, the process, use a more modern process in picking, more modern machine for packaging. So this make more our process order is a better. All right. Automation, shipping, with demand of forecasting. When we have come up with very good forecasting in demand, we can prepare and provide very good. We do very good what? Very good order processing. Okay. If our demand is forecasting is not very accurate, it also affect our productivity. Okay. In our forecasting setting, make sure we try to increase the level of accuracy, ya, darjah ketepatan dalam membuat ramalan. Okay, stock level accuracy. Sometimes we don't have, we have numbers, wrong numbers and wrong figures for our stock level. Okay, we don't have enough, course, the numbers of stock in the warehouse, the data every day, because we are using the traditional. Okay, if we use traditional ways of preparing the stock, of course, the level of accuracy is very low. Okay, so try to use increase the level of accuracy in order to fulfill, to achieve the good orders system. Good order system. Warehouse management. In our warehouse also we must comply with the technology. We can use a system. You can use a good data processing system. You can update and upgrade the system, the time, save our time, most updated, most quality data at every 1 hour, at every 30 minutes. So this is about warehouse management. Okay, and the partial order processing. Sometimes we process the order based on the partially, based on the maybe based on the term, or based on the time, maybe every weeks, every 2 weeks, 3 times per month, 4 times per month. So if we can process the order every day, this make more meaningful for the customer. But if we in one week we only process the order on the Saturday, of course good, because when the customer making the order on the Sunday, they cannot get the product. They have to wait until the weekend. This no, okay, the partial order processing, we try to the number of days of order processing. We try to
Recorded.
always communicate to the but it's very good inventory. All is related to so inventory can be two situations, or maybe the inventory is about the finished product. Inventory management can talk about the halfway product or finished product. So both data must be very accurate figure. So then we could break processing. Okay, like my friend, okay, my student Miss Yuyu want to prepare a batik shirt, okay, batik shirt. So Miss Yuyu must understand how many material in the house, okay, and how many stock of the the how the printer, okay, the volume of printer you can use to chop the batik, and the capacity of suite only pieces. Okay, the accounting department, human resource. So why we have to manipulate all the resources? We have to manipulate all the human manpower, manipulate all the overtime, hours. They must stay for overtime. Okay. So to make a bulk order of the material and the overseas, and we had maybe at night with the arrival of the material. So all this the integration of ERP, enterprise resource planning. So actually it look like I have finished my notes, okay, 10 minutes, so I can do some order processing. And also now I would like to open for all the questions from the student, okay. And for those joining my Facebook today, Kalmi, Yuyu, Israf, Fauzi, Maklong, Azwan, all this morning. Thank you very much for joining my live lectures on the what you call it, forecasting and customer order that related to the logistic management. Okay, class. Okay, yes, class. Nur Afifah. So we have another 20 minutes time for me before move to our lunch and Jumaat pray. Do you have any question? Yes? Any question? Nur Afifah? Dini? So this topic today is very light compared to the last week topic. And of course, for the last topic, again, I will try to try to redo or repair my notes to make my notes more meaningful and more understandable for the previous class. Okay, but for the today's session, it's like the note is very simple and very easy to understand. So, but if you have any question, okay, floor is yours. So in the chat room, we have a question. Okay, I'll check the chat room. Yeah. Okay, there is a chat room here. Excuse me, sir. I want to ask. I'm Isabella regarding the explanation of forecast for forcing and order. Okay, forcing and order processing material. What is the forecast predicted in the company logistics? Is not correct. Then what solution can be used in this problem? Okay, let's say in our data data in our forecasting. The data is not, I call it, not very accurate. Let's say we come up with very wrong, I call it wrong numbers. Not the data is not accurate. So what to do? Okay. So as a managers, they say the data is not very accurate. We come up with very wrong figure. Okay. So there are so many factors that we can might be a cause of this mistake. Okay, maybe the data, the data from the data that we collect from the previous transaction is not really updated. Okay, data is not really updated, or maybe there is call it there is a unexpected situation that beyond our knowledge, beyond our control. Okay, beyond our control. So if this happen, of course the data is not true. The data is really different from the actual one. Okay, maybe there's something unexpected happen. Number two, because of the data is not really updated. And three, maybe because of the human error. Maybe because of the human error. Okay, when the human call it the human factor. When the people don't have enough knowledge on the system, don't have enough knowledge in call it in using the application of software. So maybe due to this reason, the data can be very different from the casting. Okay, so can be from the machine error, can be from the human error, or can be from the data error. I mean the previous historical data is not right. Is it okay, Isabella? Yes. Any more question?
Sure, thank you.
All right. Okay. Dini, okay. All right. So Syahidah, Shatifah, any question? Look like the content today is not very difficult. Then you can easy for you to understand. Because it's normal process it's a basic marketing also. We talk about delivery, we talk about the process of fulfilling the order. It is very simple. Okay, but the point here is we must make sure that we deliver the product according to the time. We deliver the product according to time, and we choose the right tool and the right transportation in order to make sure that the product is arrived as expected by the customer. There's element of customer service. Whereby we try to fulfill the order, we try to understand the order, we try to do very good selection, sorting the order, packaging, using the right packaging system. All this very important in order to fulfill the customer order and customer satisfaction. Okay, question two. Okay, by Adila. Okay, Adila. Based on your explanation, which there is 10 tips to improve order processing. Okay, on 6 points said partial order processing, but it is worth to send just partial order delivery if we look from the economic point of view. Okay, of course, from the economic point of view, we choose partially order processing. Sometimes it is very more meaningful and more economic. Yeah, more economic and more meaningful. But it is based on the type of product. Based on the type of product. If the product is very important, very need call it, the customer really need the product to arrive faster, like a food. Let's say you use a Grab to order the food Grab food. Okay, for this case, we cannot practice a partially order processing. Okay, we have to make this order processing maybe hourly order processing or every minutes order processing, because the customer is looking for the food. If we choose the partial product normally for the clothes, so maybe for the home house appliance, okay, it's not urgent, not very urgent, not like food. Okay, or the unurgent product like we call it the housing I call it the like hair dryer, yeah, the shampoo, the soap, dry product. Okay, electronic product. All this product is not really urgent, immediately required. Okay, like so all this type we don't need to. We can practice partially order processing, but the urgent material, urgent food, we have to really process the order. Yeah? We don't have to take a longer. You don't have to choose a partially order processing activities. Understand? And based on the criteria and the usage of the product. Of course, material, yes, material also we need urgently, so we cannot use partially. Okay, but we can choose partially if we want to. If our transportation is different, it is the calendar or the trip, based on the trip also, the trip of transportation. If we have very like a 1 month, 2 months delivery process, then we have to follow. Okay, but based on the routine of our delivery. Okay, so sometimes yes, true, sometimes it's very economic if we choose a partially order processing, but sometimes it depend on Bella. Okay, it's a Bella. No. Okay. Term that are often counted in predicting logistic activities in the current era. Okay, what are the problem? Okay, nowadays, after we have very long break, due to the corona attack. There are so many suppliers now in the business, so many suppliers, so many customers. This is the something unexpected yang di luar jangkaan. Ya, terdapat peluang baru di pasaran, terdapat new customer in the market. We have local customer and global customer. So when we have this situation, what we have to do is to we have a problem in this predicting the future logistic strategies. Okay, so what are the problem? The problem is about the behavior of the user, the behavior of customer. Now the customer is very selective behavior of customer, and also the market condition in some location. We can have a border. We cannot deliver our product. There is a problem in some situation. In some situation, maybe the transportation is not allowed. Still, and sometimes there is a war. Unexpected war. So this is can be a problem for the can cause a problem to the logistic planning and logistic forecasting. Okay, logistic planning and logistic forecasting. Okay, so there is a customer factors, there's a supplier factors, there's also economic factors and the government factors. It might become a barriers for a good logistic planning. Okay, is it right? Is it okay, Mavida? Okay, any more question? Okay, any more? Now it's another 2 minutes to go for 12 o'clock. You can listen to my voice. No problem, it's my voice. Okay, again, you can go to my Facebook. Okay, again, if not have any more question, I would like to say thank you for today. Okay, see you again next week, inshallah. Okay, have a good days and have a good weekend this week, inshallah. See you again.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sam. So this Facebook is your review lecture?
Yes. It is live in my
Okay.
Facebook. So
Yeah. I already informed to the student about
right.
your Facebook, so they can get some material there.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sam, for today's lecture.
You're welcome. Okay.
See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you, Pak Fajar. Thank you, students. Don't forget to present.
Thank you, Dr. Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Fajar.
Okay.